If you're going to take the risk of running advertising online, shouldn't you get the benefits of learning from someone who's in the platforms every second of the day? Welcome to bidpixel.com's Marketing Ear Biscuits, the original podcast dedicated to digital advertising run by two Aussie guys who ride around in kangaroo pouches and drink Fosters and 4X beer.
Hey Chris Mott, how are you, mate?
Good, Dave. How are you, mate?
Not bad, thank you. Let's talk about long-form copy and long-form videos in advertising, so Facebook, Instagram, advertising right now, and why you should be doing it, but how you should be doing it for the best bang for buck and outcome. So long-form copywriting and long-form video work. Why, Mr. Mott?
I personally love long form copy and I love long form video. I'm a very much a research kind of person. You know, I see something that piques my interest and I want to learn, as much as I can about it before I purchase it. So I'm prepared to take the time to read a paragraph or two paragraphs and watch a video that goes for 1 or 2 minutes. A lot of people don't, a lot of people like the whole, check out our cool product, hit our website now and buy it.
Like bang.
And it's, which is, and they both have their place. And I think it's funny, because, we talk about it a lot, and a lot of other agencies and, Gary Vee and all these guys, they talk about, you've got mere seconds to grab somebody's attention. So that's where that idea of just bang, 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 shot now has evolved from. I think, I've always traditionally used my long form copy and longer form videos for nurturing, for middle of funnel and retargeting. These are people that are already warm to the businesses and the brands that I'm trying to help.
They might have had the bang bang.
They might have seen the bang bang bang, and we definitely do that. But there's more chance of a stronger educational approach with the longer form copy and the longer form videos. Which is where I think they really succeed with.
So how, I'm going to tip something in here. Your audience targeting is really critical for this as well, right? Like you're saying that you love long form and you love to consume long form copy and long form video work because you're a researcher, but you're not going to sit there and consume a long form video or long form post about women's makeup, are you?
Nope.
So you've got to make sure your audience is relevant, or you've already pre-qualified them with some brand awareness. Watch the previous episode because we'll talk about cheaper CPMs and shifting objectives. But you did mention their long form for middle of funnel. Now it's a research, it's an education, and it's a motivation to use a longer form copy. One thing that we've talked about in the agency a lot lately is the whole premise of if someone's genuinely interested in purchasing, they will want to make an informed decision, right? So the bang, bang, bang video is going to get their attention in a top of funnel awareness campaign, but you've kind of also then highlighted them that they have a desire, or you've highlighted them that they have a problem that needs solving, and potentially you've made them aware, but they're also going to go and research your competitors as well now because you were the one that made them aware of it. So
100%.
Long form copy, I don't have a problem with, right? I'm the same as you. I will research long form and read long form and watch longer videos if I'm genuinely interested in that product or service because I want to find out more. I want to find out if it's the right fit for me and the right decision.
Yeah, and I don't think it's it's singled out to larger purchases either. I like to think that it can work just as well for something that's worth $10 as something that's worth $10,000.
Okay,
and
so
I think.
Let's talk a few different industries, right? So a fishing lure, a $30 fishing lure. I obviously love fishing and buy lures. Don't tell my wife. But a $30 fishing lure, I want to read long form. I want to read about the diving depth that it gets to. I want to do some research and find out some testimonials about how that lure works, what species of fish it's going to work for, what usage is it? Do I use it for trolling on my boat? Do I use it for casting off a lake shore? You want to, it's a $30 lure and you buy multiples of them, but I don't want to waste my money on one that's not going to perform. Just like my wife, Casey, sits and watches all these long form makeup tutorials and videos because she wants to make an informed decision about what she's putting on her skin. Let's look at something. Coffee. coffee aficionados, coffee lovers will sample different coffees from different regions. We'll learn to love an Ethiopian sort of high altitude coffee over a low altitude Colombian coffee, but they're going to start researching where that coffee's grown, what co-op it was shipped through, what side of the hill it was grown on, and if it was picked by virgins or not, right? Like,
yeah, they want to educate themselves.
They want to educate themselves on a product, but you can't go in. Jay Abraham's got a really interesting saying about the 12 stages of intimacy. And that goes everywhere from eye to body, walking down the street. If you look at someone's body and then you look eye to eye, then maybe you have the conversation, and then maybe there's hand to hand, hand to body, and use your own imagination of where it gets to. But at any point of time, as Jay Abraham sort of teaches, if you skip more than 2 of those stages, it's an assault. If you go eye to body walking down the street and then tap them on the ass, it's assault. If you move or progress too far through those stages of intimacy, it's a form of assault. And it's just like the same in advertising. So a long form video or a long form ad copy to the wrong audience, I would see as a form of assault. So
I would see it as wasted ad spend.
Wasted ad spend, right? Like, wasted ad spend is a massive part of it. Like, why bother putting out that educational, motivational material to an audience who is not receptive to receiving it?
Yeah, 100%. And then, you've got the traditional long form copies that, I think everybody is familiar with, before you go and spend $10,000 on putting solar on the roof, you expect to see, a paragraph and then a video with, that's 2 or 3 minutes long, even if you've never even looked at getting solar, there's a bit of a stigma around which industries can and can't use that long form copy. But I really think that it is best in all industries, and especially at the moment too, so getting back to the relevance of why I think long form copy and longer videos have the potential to work really well at the moment is, yes, you've still got that, mere milliseconds to grab somebody's attention, which is where, you should be calling out the audiences, and, you've got that headline that just grabs somebody's attention. You've got the thumbnail for the video that's just like, what is this? And then a strong call to action immediately. It could be for a top of funnel audience, but then you actually expand on that immediately. People, have a lot more free time at the moment. I'm very generalized with that. People are spending a lot more time on the internet, which means, they've potentially got more time to consume more information immediately than, they may have a few months ago about something. They're thinking about other things to occupy their time or occupy their kids' time, or, maybe they want to do something with the house during this period or something. You've got a chance to, one, bring the attention to somebody that now is thinking, oh yeah, okay, I do have a pain point that I want answered. I want solar for the house. I've never really thought about it. And as you mentioned, you're the first person to bring that to somebody's attention. Now they're going to research your competitors, which is just a natural human element. Wouldn't you rather than go off and compare what they've just read in your long-form copy to your competitors rather than research your competitors? It becomes more of a comparison. This is what we do. Bang, 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 bang. A couple of paragraphs, a 2-minute video. Now they've got an idea of what solar installation should look like for them, and they're going to compare your competitors.
There's a line in the sand, right?
There is 100%. You set a benchmark.
Here's the benchmark. Can you find better?
Yeah.
So what you're saying there is a top of funnel long form text. Facebook allows 3 lines of text, right? If you're calling out the audience, if you've got a strong call to action, there's 2 kinds of people that read advertising, right? There's the skimmer, and they might come back to it later, or there's the person that wants to make an informed decision. And you can write long form ad copy to suit both of them, right?
Yes.
You can write it. The first 3 lines can get the skimmer's attention. The next 100 lines of a long form piece of copy can really educate and motivate the informed decision that you might get a purchase there or then, or you might put your brand in a really high regard. So when they do start researching other options, the original is the best, right?
Yeah, and you can structure your long form copy to suit that skimmer as well. Somebody who's got the attention span of a goldfish, they just want to easily consume stuff. They're not going to read 2 paragraphs, but you can still put 2 paragraphs worth of text that they will read in bullet points. cost, price, installation, bang, 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 whatever it may be, with a bit of a summary at the end of it. You can boil 4 or 5 paragraphs down to just a list of bullet points that's still going to convey that information to that skimmer in a way that they can consume it.
So if you want to know some more information on exactly what Chris just said, get this book, The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan
book.
Kennedy. So he talks exactly about that, right? And while you can't do headlines, bold headlines, call out boxes, that sort of stuff on your Facebook advertising, the landing page that they might click through, you can definitely do that. Or you can use dot points throughout the ad copy, or you can use the odd emoji. Don't go stacking emojis galore, but use something to pinpoint so that that skimmer reads the sections and finds out more information. But the person that wants to be well educated takes their time to consume all of the content. So mate, how would you design, let's talk about that exact instance where it's kind of top of funnel, it's going to appeal to long form, short form readers. How do you structure that ad copy? Like literally, what's on line 1?
Literally just that, line 1 is calling out and asking a question of the audience. So if we, let's talk about a kid's toy shop. That first line of copy at this point in time for someone who's got kids age, and you know what it's like, age between 2 and 5 years old, and I know for my son as well, he doesn't know what's going on at the moment. He knows something's going on. He knows he's not allowed to go to the playground. He's running a bit loopy. So if we're looking at a kid's toy store, it's, are you struggling to keep the kids entertained? You're asking a question and you've also spoken into somebody's life in a matter of 10 words straight away.
The audience targeting, we've made the beautiful world of, we're only targeting people with kids anyway, right? So
exactly, yeah.
We're resonating with who they are straight away within the first 10 words. Okay. Are you struggling to entertain your kids at home? Question mark.
Yeah. And and if that's going to resonate with somebody, it will resonate immediately, because it's a simple line. 10 words is, you'd be surprised how quickly your eyeballs can consume 10 words.
And then the thumbnail of the video, if you're using a video there, the image can also collude with that first 10 words to get their attention fast. So then what do you put next? So remembering, we've got 3 lines.
So 3 lines of text. So the first one is, I would call out the audience with a question as well. So I want to call them out and also sort of let them know that I understand their current situation. And then the second line is, did you know that company X, or we specialize in something like this. So, I've straight away positioned myself to, I know what you're going through. 1, we actually do something similar to this. And then the third line is, this worked great for my kids. And then you've got the ... or see more.
I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that, because I'm very slow to sell, right? So I would almost not on the second line say, we are great, look what we've got. I would almost then, there comes a time and a place for that. But you also have to think about what their pain points and objections and all that sort of stuff. You've kind of answered that. Are you struggling with a 2-year-old, activities for a 2-year-old at home, question mark. You've kind of hit 2 things there. What about when you're painting a picture? Like, what would it be like if you had something that entertained them for hours on end?
Well, maybe I probably misspoke. That's sort of what I was trying to get at.
It's backpedaling.
I'm backpedaling now. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's what I'm good at. It's more about, I still want to entertain the idea of somebody who's looking at this ad, especially in the top of funnel, is only going to read those first 3 lines. So it's not necessarily a hard sell. It is, I do want to be able to at least open the door for me to position myself as a potential solution to the above question.
Awesome. So think about whoever you are, whoever listening to this, actually like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that sort of stuff now. But whoever you are listening, whether you're a tax accountant, selling kids toys, selling makeup, selling fishing lures, how can you write your first 3 lines of advertising copywriting for exactly that? Call them out, get their attention, make them think, get a little micro yes out of them. So the ones with the attention of a goldfish can go and click through and have a look. The ones that then want to read out more and inform themselves, you've got a lot more there for them. So I had written on my notepad, instant experiences. Tell our viewers how you could do all of this on a Facebook ad with an instant experience and what the benefit of that is, if there is any.
There is. I really like instant experiences, and I think they're probably heavily underutilized these days because it's not the latest and greatest little fandangled device. The instant experience is effectively a shift in the format of the ad for mobile friendly, especially, and usually Instagram is a strong one with this, that effectively allows you to build a little mini landing page.
Hey, can we stop there for a second? Can
Yeah.
you just lean towards the window for a second? And I'm going to go this way. And our team is magically going to create an instant experience between us here so you can kind of see. So I'm going to stay over here, you stay over there. And
Right.
someone on our team's magically going to record an instant experience opening up as you continue to talk about it.
All right, cool. I like that. So this one here.
Kind of here somewhere.
Kind of there. Yeah.
An instant experience. So look, someone on the team, please make this happen. But clicking on an ad opens up an instant experience. Chris, I keep on talking.
Yeah. So basically, it is like a mini landing page within Facebook ads, and heavily designed around mobile first creative, which we love, and we think is definitely a very strong suit of Facebook ads. What it allows you to do is it allows the user to view a full screen experience that you can put headlines, you can put paragraphs of text in, you can put multiple images, you can actually have sliding carousels, you can have videos, you can actually products you can have them as dynamic product sets as well. That's more of a collection than an instant experience though. An instant experience is heavily customizable. The one really cool thing about it is if you've got your brand guidelines for your particular business and your color palette, the color of your logo, what colors you got on your logo, the codes of those, you can actually input those codes. So that instant experience reflects, the different colored banners or different colored squares or colored text can actually reflect your exact branding guidelines. So it's like a little portable, on phone landing page website designed for your business that you can design yourself. And it allows a lot more interaction. And what it actually allows is the user to spend more time on an ad than they might even spend on somebody's website. So you can show them products, you can show them reviews, you can show them videos, you can have as much or as little text or copywriting as you want. And then at the end of it all, there's always that call to action, swipe up to hit the website. And, it's
at the very end, you have the swipe up, but you can have call to actions.
You can have call to actions all the way through it. Exactly right. And that's another long form that people don't probably generally think of. When we talk about long form, most people's first thoughts are, 600 word essay on an ad, and you have to hit see more and you just never get to the bottom of it. It's not about that. Long form is about getting people to spend more time engaging with your ad or your video or your content within Facebook Ads Manager.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's talk about the production quality. So production quality in regards to the copywriting, you need to be somewhat persuasive, but you need to take that education and motivational stance, right? Like, unfortunately, like the whole coaching and course kind of thing has just gone gangbusters, and every second ad you see on Facebook now is someone trying to sell you a course. And you'll notice in their long form copy, it's always a rag to riches style story, right? Like, I was on the skin of my teeth and now I'm a multi-millionaire. Like, that's kind of played out now, and that way of that rag to riches story only works in certain industries and with certain credibility. But make sure you think about how you're writing that and who your ideal customer is. If you're appealing to a 35-year-old mum with 2 kids under 5 at home right now, make sure you're writing to appeal to them. If you're writing to Jay, our COO, who's currently out probably losing fishing lures as he fishes off Coffs Harbour. Jay, you said you were going to be at work by 11 o'clock, mate. It's now 11:43. Right to appeal to Jay, right? He wants to find out more information. If you're writing to Chriso here about the best guitar strings and why you should use guitar strings with Gore-Tex on them instead of not Gore-Tex, did you know that was a thing?
Gore-Tex, no.
Gore-Tex, like what they do, like seam sealing in jackets, they use guitar strings. Yeah, look it up.
There you go.
Do. Make sure you're writing to appeal to the person, but you've also got to write with emotional conviction if you do want the sale eventually, right? You can't just be wishy-washy in what you're writing, otherwise they won't be compelled to take the action. What about the production quality of the video? Do they need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on producing a high quality video?
Oh, yes and no. There's a time and a place for it, I think. And I'll probably just expand on what you were saying just with that long form copywriting to suit a particular audience. That goes with your video content as well. You know, if you've got a 35-year-old mother of 3 boys and you know that she wants to consume a bit of information, but then you put a 3-minute video in front of her, she's not going to watch it. You know, so also, you know, tailor your video content to your audiences as well, wherever possible, if you can.
Yep.
I think the production quality of videos is very subjective, and there's a time and a place for all of it. I think, you know, gone are the days where, you know, you can just shoot something on your iPhone and like, hey, look how authentic this is, because that started to become a lot more unauthentic as well. I think time and effort into your videos, you know, and whether you're spending thousands of dollars on having somebody come in and shoot some video content for you, or even if you just go in and spend $1,000 on a really good digital camera and just lift the quality of the actual production that you've got, I think that's going to go a lot further. And it does, you know, and you still definitely want high quality video content. You know, you want to, you know, you don't just want to sort of off the cuff with your scripting as well, you know, plan out your scripting, plan out what you're going to say in your videos and how you're going to say it, and do multiple takes. And, you know, that kind of effort will eventually show through in the quality of the end result, I think. So it's not about spending 50 grand. It's about proving to your consumers, you know, through the end result that you've actually put the time and effort into tailor something to really speak to them.
Yeah, awesome. So it's got to be high enough value and quality to get their attention, but also somewhat, you go too high quality, like TV commercial style quality, and you are just producing an ad, right? You're not producing a bit of social media content that happens to be promoted to get in front of the right people. So always think about how the production quality makes your brand, your product, and your service feel to the consumer, but also how can you make it relate to the consumer as well without going over their heads. Awesome, mate. Do you want to add anything else to this? Long form copy, long form video?
Yeah, test it everywhere. Short form, long form, test it side by side in as many different aspects of your campaign structures and your funnel as you possibly can. Because I think, you know, and we've definitely seen it over the years, it can surprise you which ones perform and which ones don't.
It's funny, hey, because you don't write the ad copy or don't produce your videos for what you want to have.
Yeah.
Produce it for what the customer is going to.
Yeah, well, you are not your end result.
Oh, and we see it time and time again, right? Like how many times a week do you get a customer saying, I don't like this video, or I don't like that ad copy, or I don't like that image? And you're like, it's converting 10 times more than anything that you ever made or anything else, right? Like,
I've said it in the past where I've actually said, I'm glad you don't like it because it means it's going to work.
And it does, right? So don't always produce content thinking that you're producing it for you. You've got to test and measure, and you've got to split test stuff and keep it within your brand message and your brand voice. But if something works well and truly above something else, run with that thing, baby, because it's going to make you the money. And it might not be exactly right. You might have stuttered, or you might have, you know, you might not like the color, or you might not like one little bit of copywriting in it. But if it's outperforming anything else, there's a reason for that, because it's appealing to your target audience.
Progress, not perfection.
Go with that thing, throw some more money at it, and make sure you're making hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome, Chris. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Let's wrap this one up. Long form copywriting and long form videos, how to do it the right way to get in front of the right audiences, when to put it into their world. Is it top of funnel? Is it middle of funnel? And just some hints and tips on why you should and shouldn't do it. That kind of all ties in. If you didn't watch our previous episode, we were talking about shifting objectives and doing more top of funnel work while it's so cheap to advertise. Watch that episode first, watch this episode, and then you'll get a holistic overview of where we're at right now with the agency and how we're getting some quick wins for customers. Chris Mott, thank you, mate.
Thank you, DJ.
We'll talk again soon.
We'll do, mate.
Let's go find Jay and make sure he called us some fish.
I'm going to text him. I'm going to text him right now.
All right. Cheers, Chris. Talk to you, mate.
Thanks, mate. Bye.